then these type of platforms can become the fourth pillar, and they can enable us and they can reach us, take us to a different level. So I think it's a wonderful initiative, and we hope that we can also be part of this initiative and help each other and giving back to the society. That's also the dream, I think, of every startup owner or startup initiator, because at the bottom of our heart we are trying to make India a better place to be. So it's a wonderful initiative, and thank you so much.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
I'm Dr. Nageshwarrao. I did a PhD in protein chemistry. So my company is Bicus Therapeutics. Bicus Therapeutics is started by University of Hyderabad's alumni. We are into some of the niche areas of biopharmaceuticals. We were working on the biosimilars in the rare diseases and some of the biosimilars which are not available in India and which are not affordable by the Indian patients. We have already commercialized 2 products. We have licensed the technology to Indian companies, and we are working more on other products which are in pipeline. So we are presently on the B2B. We are strong in R&D. We develop the technology, and the technology will be transferred to other companies. So this is fantastic. We have got opportunity to a lot of people, a lot of innovators and entrepreneurs and business people. So definitely this is a big experience for us.
Good morning, this is Rohan Tripathi. I'm the founder of iNovocare HealthSoft Solutions Private Limited. Now, if any of you follow cricket regularly, you would have seen that this year during the IPL auctions, the auctioneer Hugh Edmundis had a fall, had a blackout and fell down. That is one of the symptoms of autonomic neuropathy. That is what we are trying to diagnose here. If you see that autonomic neuropathy has not one but many symptoms that tremendously degrade the general quality of life, and this increases a lot when you have diabetes, when you have old age, and even with some diseases like long COVID. So what we are doing here is we are recording your body's response when you are performing certain activities like change in posture, when you are doing activities like sustained hand grip, when you are doing a Valsalva maneuver, and we are comparing it with the medically set parameters results. We are following the Edwings et al. That has been accepted by the medical fraternity globally. The way we entered working into this was we had developed a very simple prototype of a head-up tiltable test for one of our mentors, Dr. Shomans Dutt, at the School of Tropical Medicine, Kolkata. Upon setting this up, we found out that the diagnostics required with that simple seesaw-like head-up tiltable test were severely lacking. After understanding that, we went to a lot of doctors for people involved in the medical education fraternity, and there we found out that a lot of doctors, they are saying, when we are asking them, do you think your patients, especially the diabetic people, must have this test done? They are saying yes. Then we ask them, how many of your patients have done it? Then they give us a smile. That's why we critically understood and tried to understand why this test is not happening. We examined the existing devices in this who are doing this partially. We found that one of the issues was the price was an issue, accessibility was an issue. Another issue was these devices are very bulky devices where the software runs in a separate PC or computer. That you can understand increases the price by 60,000-70,000. And if you think of the range of this problem, In India, the diabetic numbers are not a surprise to anyone. Even the elderly boom is absolutely at our doors. So that's why we think this is the time to look into this product. It's not about what I think, it's what the American Diabetes Association recommends. They are saying that for everyone with type 2 diabetes mellitus, everyone should have periodic testing of autonomic neuropathy. And even for the elderly, this is also critically required. Even these days, the doctors are saying for people who are rehabilitating or recovering from stroke, the stroke patients, to understand the quality of rehabilitation, this is required. Even these days, they are saying, the medical science is saying that for the sports people, because the sports people have to go through a lot of checks to see their physical fitness is at the best levels. You can perform a yo-yo test to get your external fitness done, but what about your autonomic neuropathy? So for these responses, it's essential to have tests like this. Currently, we have completed the individual parameter testing successfully with a very positive result. We have received the bioignition grant, and up next we are heading towards the testing in the medical clinical setting with near about 100 patients in a hospital with a medical supervision. Currently, what we are planning to do is enter near the commercial stage, gather as much as data from the grants that we have raised using BIRAC Big and initially Nidhi Prayas. Once we have sufficient data, then definitely we will require a lot of funds, because for a medical device, the clearance and the diagnostics, and we don't want to be restricted only in India, so the international licensing also will require sufficient amount of money. There was a lot of interest, not only from the doctors, but also people in the medical research community. They showed significant amount of interest, and they even, as we are taking some time developing it, I frequently get contacted and calls, like, how far are you? Have you done it? Like in this upcoming 14th November is the World Diabetes Day. So yesterday only I got a call from one of the doctors who is one of our biggest supporters. Like, let's have a screening with your device on that day. I say, just wait a little, let us get some momentum, and then we will proceed. It was absolutely great attending the IKMC 2022. I have been here previously in IKMC 2019 as well. Last 2 years I attended the online versions, but being here physically, meeting the who's who of the medical innovation community, it has been just awesome. And also meeting a lot of my mentors here also. So it has been a great learning experience.
I'm Sandal Kotawala from Alphalius Technology Private Limited, and at Alphalius we have built world's first portable visual field perimeter. So essentially what this is it's a device for testing glaucoma. Now glaucoma is an eye disease from which almost 60 million people are affected worldwide, and it goes undiagnosed. So you may have glaucoma, right, in one of your eye, and since you open both your eyes, you may not realize that you have glaucoma. So until you get tested, you don't realize, and in fact 90% people goes undiagnosed. So what we have made is a test in a VR. It's essentially kind of a game where you can wear this VR headset and do a testing for glaucoma. And typically the traditional devices, they are big and bulky, costing about 25 lakh rupees, right? And it takes almost 30 minutes for a test to complete for a patient. What we have done is we have made that 1/10 the cost of conventional device. So it's 1/10 the cost, and it's 100 times portable, and it's way more comfortable for the patient. We worked with Arvind Eye Hospital and Johns Hopkins to validate it, and currently we have 100 plus users, 100 plus doctors who are already using it. More than 50,000 testing being done through our devices. We have an OEM who is doing it. Earlier we used to manufacture in Bangalore, but then we outsourced. As we were scaling up, we outsourced it to an OEM. And going forward, I think OEM based approach works best for us for the volumes we have. Yeah. The visual field perimeter market itself is about $500 million market in annual sales, and talking about other tests that can be incorporated. So the market is somewhere around $1 billion a year kind of revenue, and our strategy going forward is essentially to go device as a service. where instead of doctor having to pay for this device, he can pay per test utility, and that's what we are trying to raise about $500,000 to pilot and scale up that model. So far, since we have been mostly in India, we don't have. I mean, we are in process of getting CE. For the previous version, we had FDA 510K exemption, but for the current version, we don't have. So we are in process of getting those certification. Although we have a couple of users who are using as a demo device in US or a few in Africa. It has been amazing, especially, for example, there is this Dr. Abnisha in US, Moran Eye Center, and she's using these devices in the refugee camps. So people who are not a part of healthcare system, they can use device like this, and they can get benefited, who don't have healthcare there. And in Africa, of course, the pricing, it's a price sensitive market. So again, the response have been very good. So it was very personal experience. I was a glaucoma suspect. I went to Aravind Eye Hospital for an eye test, and then I realized the existing device is so difficult to use. It's so expensive. Moreover, it was never available for villages and outreach. So that was the motivation to make something portable and easy to use. And I'm proud. Like I've got a good team who helped me develop the entire thing. So I was more or less a developer, but now being an entrepreneur, you handle everything. Whatever it requires, you do that. So that's how it has been. Yeah, I can see it's been amazing. You find a lot of old folks you met probably 4 or 5 years ago, and they are back here. And also overall, the quality of sessions, right? The networking is good. The kind of people they are bringing in is amazing. The quality of sessions is great.
Hi, my name is Chandramouli. I'm the founder of Care Health Tech Services Private Limited. So what we are doing in Care is we are primarily trying to bridge the gap between the rural patients and the doctors in the city with the help of a health worker. So ideally, through our model, we'll be empowering ASHA workers, Anganwadi workers, or diagnostics center guys, or even a paramedic personnel with our mobile app, which will enable them to book appointments on behalf of the patients and connect them to the right specialists. So as you know, nearly 70% of the population in India lives in rural areas, and many of them do not have access to specialist doctors, right? So even in the primary healthcare centers, which are almost like 10 kilometers away, none of them have a proper doctor. And in community health centers, nearly 70% of them also don't have specialist doctors. So ideally, if somebody wants to have access in the rural area to get access to a specialist doctor, they need to travel almost close to 70 kilometers. So as you know, that is very difficult. On top of it, there are patient profiles like pregnant women, senior citizens, injured personnel. So they need specialists, and they can't even move an inch out of their house. So the idea is to help these kind of patients with the help of health workers. So we have built an app, mobile app. Basically through that app, as I said, they'll be able to consult with the senior specialists. Apart from that, the health workers can also bring out the vital details which is required for the doctor. Ideally in a telemedicine, as you know, when it happens between the doctor and the patient, many times they don't have access to vital details like blood pressure, BP, sugar, and so on. But here, because the health worker is present with the patient, they can also provide all the details. So in that way, the kind of quality of care is improved, and the accessibility is also provided along with the affordability. We are actually building a franchising model as of now, wherein we have identified in the rural setups diagnostic center guys or a pharmacy guys who have some background, and we are onboarding them with our platform. So we are giving them our platform as well as our doctors, specialist doctors, so that they can actually consult through our platform. So that's how we are doing. So we've recently started, so we are expanding in some of the pockets of Uttar Pradesh. We are focusing mainly on getting our platform integrated with the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. So as you know, like ABDM is one of the key initiatives of Government of India, where they are trying to uh, build a healthcare record system for the patients across India, right? So we are actively working on that, through which we'll be able to directly work with the government of India in creating ABHA IDs for the rural patients, and also be part of doing some direct assignments given by the government of India. So that is going to be one source of income. The other is this franchising model, where we will identify some health workers on the ground and enable them through our platform. So the other model is, as you know, most of the target audiences are low income population. So ideally, we cannot actually charge them a lot of money for the treatment. So we are also working with foundations, wherein we are tying up through CSR models, where we are enabling our platform, or probably giving our technology platform to them, so that they can actually provide this healthcare through. So we are basically working on some model together and reaching out to these foundations to raise funds for the health programs. So we are working out different models. There are some clinics already in the rural pockets who doesn't have a technology. They primarily are doing either through WhatsApp or Zoom or video and so on. So they can also use our software, because it in the back end, as I said, we are integrated with AVDM, and it also maintains health records. We have access to vitals and everything. So we'll be able to also digitize their entire process through our platform. So I would say a small size HMR system is built in this entire app. So the software we built is it works both in a tab or a mobile phone, and even on a laptop, like if somebody wants to operate through a laptop. But ideally, what we have done is we assume that many of the patients in the rural areas do not have a smartphone, right? So that is the reason we are actually driving through the health workers. So ideally, it is the only health worker who will have the smartphone. It need not to be the patient who needs to carry a smartphone. Yeah. IKM, I've been actually associated with them through GenCare. So we are part of GenCare mission program. So through them we know IKM, and also through other colleagues and some of my previous connects. So I know about IKM, and that's how I was basically come to this event. So far the experience has been great. I've been actually made some very good connects here, and great networking has happened, and also met new friends. So that's the whole idea. So I think overall experience has been tremendous.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Hi, my name is Dr. Daimond, and I am CEO and Chief Scientific Officer of UR Advanced Therapeutics. We are a group of academicians and industrial scientists which started this company. We are majorly focused on innovation, bringing innovation in India. And currently our first product that we have launched is a dynamic apoptosis detection kit. What it does is it identifies the dying cell. So if you are screening for n number of drugs to identify a drug which is specific for a specific cancer, you will screen for thousands of drugs, and you want an identification mechanism which drug of cancer. So there this kit is being used, and this kit is a competitor for a current global gold standard player, which is Annexin 5, that is a 32 kilodalton protein. What we have developed is a 1.5 kilodalton small peptide. It is a single step process. You just add it to your cells and start observing the dying cells, and it can be used for facts, you can be using for imaging, or you can use by fluorimetry. So you can have a number of applications, and at the same time, being small, it can penetrate into deep tissue. That means you can image or screen for the cells that are deep inside your tissue for dying cells. Further to this, we have a few more products that are in line, which are again patented by us. And the next product is a exosome identification kit. The current method of doing exosome isolation is using ultracentrifugation, or antibody-based precipitation. What we have identified is a pan-exosomal marker which can precipitate the cell exosomes from various cells or tissues or even smallest volume of tissue like tear fluid. You can identify the exosomes, and thus we can go for a non-invasive diagnostic approaches using this. Currently, we just soft launched our one product, and we'll be in the market by Asia 2023. And in between time, we are supplying the kits to different market players as well as academics and industries so that they get beta testing done. It will take another 3 months before we are commercialized in the market. So currently we are funding by ourselves, and we are looking for a strategic investor or like a long-term partner who can help us in achieving our bigger ambitions and goals.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Hi, I'm Komal Shah, and I'm the founder of Ikshana Healthcare. This is a poster of our work. We are working on developing a treatment solution for women having urinary incontinence. So, urinary incontinence refers to a condition where you don't have control over urine flow. So, typically after childbirth or aging, or even women who have lung conditions can develop weakness in their pelvic floor muscles, and when these muscles become weak, it's difficult to control, basically to contract and relax the muscles the way they should be done for controlling urine itself. So for strengthening these muscles, it is possible to exercise. Just like any other muscle, you can exercise and strengthen them. For these also it's possible, but these muscles are deep seated inside the body. So it's not like your arm where you can see that you're bending enough and the exercise is happening correctly. So these muscles are inside the body. So about 40% of women are not able to do these exercises correctly. So the electrical stimulation is a known alternative where you give stimulation pulses, electrical pulses to these muscles, and the pulses will make the muscles contract and relax the way they should happen clinically. So here, what we are doing is that we are putting the same electrical stimulation, the entire technology platform, into a wearable. The reason why we are doing this is because this treatment, it needs to be given multiple times a day, every day for several months at a stretch. So it's difficult for women to visit clinical setups, say to a physiotherapist or to a gynecologist for so many times every day, and naturally the compliance is very low. So that's the reason why we need something which they can use in a portable manner. There are other devices which can do the same thing. Like in India, we have Liberty by Utah Medicals, but they give electrical stimulation with an intravaginal device, which is not comfortable and to a large extent seen as a taboo in India. So what we are using are surface-based electrodes. It's just a wearable where you can, this is the line along which electrodes and other parts come in. These are integrated in the wearable, and it's very thin and it's very discreet to use. So I can basically be wearing this sitting at my work desk doing my work, and no one would know that I'm actually taking the treatment. So that is the main USP of our device. The other aspect here is that women in general in India are not really aware that this situation can be cured. We've actually met more than 100, about 120 women, and we've spoken to them. And what we learned is a lot of them think that, my grandmother had it, my mother had it, so I was just expecting to get it. They just say that I'll put an alarm on my phone every 1 hour, I'll just go to the washroom. I won't let it collect, so, it won't really leak. But they don't realize that it's going to escalate in some time. If you don't pay attention to it, after some time, it's just going to escalate the condition, and then it'll be even more difficult to manage. So, apart from coming up with the device, we also have a Ikshana community where we are trying to spread awareness about this condition. So as of now, we have 40 women part of the group, and we are hoping to grow further.
So at what stage is the product?
Yeah, so the platform is ready and we are doing some clinical validation tests. So this product, it actually started in IISc Bangalore, and the IISc Health Center itself, we have collaborated with them and we are doing some tests for the platform itself. The wearable is also ready, but we haven't started tests there. Recently, we got the Big Birac grant, and we are using, our plan is to start working with that grant towards first to make it fully compliant to medical standards and to then take it out for pre-compliance testing and other aspects. But I think the clinical trial will require the maximum amount of funds, which we are looking to start in about 8 or 12 months from now. And we've already started preparing for that. And I think that will require huge funding because of the number of people who will have to be involved. Oh, it's been great actually. Even before this, IKP has helped us a lot to develop our work, and at every stage towards meeting with people and getting mentorship and other aspects. And to come here and to meet all of them together at once was also great. We've also attended a lot of workshops here, which have been very helpful. So there was one workshop on term sheets which we attended yesterday evening, and we didn't know a lot of these things, and to hear directly from someone who otherwise is on the other side of the table to understand what their perspective is very helpful.
Avishkaran, the Bionest of Niper. Hyderabad was inaugurated on the 16th Foundation Day of Niper. On the sidelines of the event, My Startup TV spoke to founders of startups incubated at Avishkaran Bionest.
Hello everyone, I am Akanksha K from Niper Hyderabad, student of MS Pharm, Medicinal Chemistry first year. I want to put one quote first. आवश्यकता आविष्कार की जननी है, right? So this quote really bringing innovations forward. We all are aware that cleaning and dusting cleans the object, right? But cleaning means that dust will harm us. So on the solution of this question, we have made a Daimond broom. The name itself suggests Daimond broom. Daimond means inverted umbrella. It will we can fix it on the rod so that while cleaning or dusting, we can collect the dust before it reaches us to harm. Our product is sustainable, customizable and multi-purpose, so that we can use any extensions for it, right? Like mopping, then wipers we can attach, and everything, the rod and every toolings available, these all are sustainable, so environment friendly. We are using the rod of steel, then extension that is diamond shape inverted umbrella of cloth, so that it can be clean easily. And then the broom from Broom, which is naturally available, so the whole product is sustainable and environment friendly. We are also try to cover the paint brushes making industry. We all know while painting, the drops of paints, everything will fall on ground, and it is very tough job to clean it. So it's better to just collect it on the umbrella, so that we cannot go through all that problems. So now only no need to buy multiple tools for cleaning. Only take one set, use it for every purposes in effective prices, and we will be covering whole broomstick market and probably the paint brushes making industries also. Thank you so much.
Welcome viewers, welcome to My Startup TV Founder Talk Show. We are at the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at IIITH. We are here to talk to two founders who are incubated at the IIITH. Their startup is into it's called Deep Facts, and it is into medtech. The founders are Vamshi Karatam and Janardhan Sunkara. Welcome gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So let's start by understanding what is medtech all about, or a deep fact all about.
So deep fats is all about see, most of the time cardiovascular patients or the cardiovascular events happen due to untimely intervention of the medical support. Yeah. So deep fats take care of multivital parameter device. It provides to the subjects, and so that if there is any event, immediately our command center will alert the attendant or the doctor, and as well as to the subjects, to take in timely intervention to save the subject from the medical any kind of uneven events.
So how do you monitor? How do you monitor your subjects that they are going through anomaly when it comes to health stats?
We have developed a multi-vital parameter monitoring device that will capture more than 16 vital parameters. For phase 1, we are giving 5 vital parameters, which is dealt by WHO. That is ECG, BP, temperature, heart rate, and SpO2. The another USP is it will give abnormality alerts whenever it is required. While in one line, we are giving this platform for affordable and accessible care for everyone.
So do you have to wear this device?
Yes, we have to wear this on chest.
Vamshi,
yeah.
Today the way the iPhone, the phones, smartphones are kind of morphing. They are as good as becoming in some ways a device that checks parameters, health parameters, or keeps a track of it. Right from how many kilometers you've walked in a day to SP2, ECG, you can do it. So with that kind of thing, when you see smartphones kind of getting into that segment as well, the medtech state, where do you fit in?
See, coming to the Apple iWatch or the Samsung Watch or anyone, that's towards a fitness wearable, comes under that sector. Ours is more towards a medical grade, and here our device controls the pressures. See, normally whenever we wear it on the wrist, the wearable, it's controlled by us. So I can lose my watch, or I can tighten my watch. So these sensors mostly work on the pressure. So how far the sensor is from the skin.
Yeah.
You can manipulate with the wearable watches.
So there's a chance of the accuracy can be changed. In our case, what we do is when we put it on the chest, the adhesives and everything is controlled by us. The design is as per at what pressure or at what difference or the distance the sensor need to be there is controlled by our engineers, and we control that. So that's the main difference. One is that the accuracy will be increased because of this. Yeah, and we don't it's more towards a medical grade, not towards the fitness grade.
I understand. Last night actually there was a medical emergency, and then I was going through it, and both of these devices were in play, where the iWatch and the SP2 monitor, and you could see the difference, because the watch requires you to keep your hand stable at a particular place, and as you said, where does it connect and all that. my question I was coming to was the way the smartphones or the smart devices coming up. It's only a matter of time where they would catch up with something what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Because you can see what happened with iPhones when they started. They never had any of these components, but now today there's iWatch which does that, phone does it, and you're saying it is for the medical purpose, right? Medical grade.
Yeah.
So is it right to assume that your device would be used by somebody who has a problem vis-a-vis somebody who's fit? Because why would I wear it on my chest if I have no problem? I'm just kind of...
That's true. You're again. I agree with you. See, it is mostly used for the elderly care, or the one who is having a cardiovascular history, or is a family history of cardiovascular. They can use it more of the time than the normal fit people. So it's like, see, in India, more of the things happen. I mean, this is like the people are not proactive in the Indian scenarios. Then whenever there is an event, then only they get active, and then they think about having this kind of a devices or looking for this kind of a devices. But here the elderly care and the cardiovascular patients is the right sector what we are targeting at this time, and not for only for the fitness or the people.
Understand.
And one more thing is, we can use it as a household device like BP apparatus and non-invasive glucose monitors. We are giving 5 key vital parameters. Anyone can use this for the general checkup. Kind of, if there is an abnormality, then you can go to your physician. You can use it as a general household device also.
Definitely, that makes a lot of application kind of complete changes and makes it more. I think if not hard, definitely there are probably a family has one person who is suffering from diabetes.
Yes, there is a wide use cases. We are focusing on.
Yeah, that's true.
So currently you have a prototype in place, and are there subjects who are using this? And if yes, what kind of impact or what kind of results have you found?
See, our stage is not at the prototype, but we moved from the prototype to MVP, and we are going for a beta trials at this time with another around 100 devices. We are going to launch a beta version to the elderly care and to the cardiovascular patients. And coming to this, the accuracy of the device, we are standing from 90 to 95%. Comparing with the standalone the ECG devices and the BP apparatus, whatever available in the market.
And sorry to interrupt you. One proud thing is it's completely make in India device, chip and enclosure, everything.
That's remarkable. We want to hear more of those.
That's true.
Make in India, and for India, for the world. Make in India, but for the
world.
For the world. As a startup. Okay, out of you, anyone who's a medical practitioner, any doctor? No. So how did you come up with this whole thought?
We both are mechanical engineers.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Mechanical engineers venturing into something to do with engineers, right? They don't do engineering. I mean, they do engineering and they get into something else altogether,
yes,
right? And I think there is definitely an affinity between engineers and medical profession.
Yes, agree. Yeah. See, most of these devices or most of this medical equipment available in the market are done by engineers with the support of the
inputs from the doctors,
researchers. Yes. That's how we have developed this device. We have around 14 doctors on board as an advisor.
We are just executors. The domain experts all are doctors. Without them, we can't do anything.
No, I understand, because they bring subject matter expertise.
Yes.
You bring the technical know-how.
Correct.
So, one is to say that there is an anomaly and that gets triggered. It goes to a command center, and then somebody has a problem. What next after that? Do you have a solution after that?
Yes.
So that is where the criticality comes in, right?
Exactly. See, what we do is we identify the problem, we provide the solution. So in the command center, based on the data availability from the subject, if there is, in the command center, we are going to maintain some medical practitioners, like maybe the MBBS or ambulatory care, the basic ones who can identify and say this is a problem. So if required, we provide the ambulance service to reach their home and get them directly to the hospital.
It's a problem. It's a problem finder and solution provider.
So the problem is to find if there is an anomaly and then get them to the nearest hospital where they can be treated.
If you are identifying the problem, after that we need some action from our end.
True. So, are you raising fund, and if yes, what kind of funds you're looking for, and what that would be used for?
See, so till now what we have done was we bootstrap from everything.
Friends and family.
And we raised a little bit from friends and family, and few doctors invested into this into the company, and we are looking for nearly 2 million USD to scale it up in the bigger way. And before that, we want to raise it in trenches, not immediately. We don't need a 2 million, but to make sure we get the traction and scalability, we need around 1 million altogether.
Okay, tell us about your team, and who, you obviously two of your founders.
Yeah.
Who else is there in your team?
So we have a strategic director in our company. His name is Shesha M. Rao. He has done he has more than 25 plus years of experience, and he is from the IT background. And he worked with Wipro, and he has done CEO for Inside B company. He's Shesha M. Rao, and he's now he's a member of ICIA, Hyderabad Software Association, and he closely works with us on the strategies and how to take it to the next level. He works with us, and we have good advisors from electronics. There's one Satyanarayana Garu, and he's from Osmania, and there's one by name Srinivas Murthy is from Chennai, and he's more into advisory on the electronic part of it, and we have Dr. Suresh, ABS Suresh from Continental, who gives inputs on what level we need to take the device, and on the reporting side also we get more of inputs from Dr. Suresh. And it's almost like we have 15 plus team as advisors, consultants, and some are on board.
And we have good embedded team in house, Manoj, Dilip, and Shivram, Naimisha. We have good embedded team and software team in house.
So, to your best of knowledge, is there any other device that is or parallel product that is doing the same thing, and how do you compare to that?
So
be it India, be it abroad.
Yeah, there are some few devices, but they are particularly to one parameter or two parameters, not completely into 5 or whatever the next level 16 parameters what we are thinking. It's not into that. It's only into one parameter like ECG. We have Monitra, and we have one more called Avishkaran Care. They are into the ECG monitoring called Holter monitoring, and we have BPL also is more into just particularly concentrating on one parameter, and we are more concentrating on multi-parameter to make sure it goes into the household model.
So anything when it comes to anything wearable, right? Like you're talking about even the watch, if it is not comfortable, we will loosen it, right?
Correct.
So a device that has to be worn, people have to be really comfortable with it. What kind of attention have you paid to the the design parameters of it, the ergonomics of it, comfort part of it? You can talk about a little bit of the design and how what thought has gone into making it friendlier for somebody who's going to wear it all the time.
We have tested this MVP one with 30 females and 30 males. After that, we've done a design review. We completely concluded into small type of patch on the chest. It will completely wearable and comfortable for both men and women.
So it's going to be a patch.
Patch kind of.
It's like a heart shape, which need to be placed here, and back we have an adhesives where just need to be fixed. Obviously, coming onto the body, if any third part, like kind of watch or anything, there will be a small discomfort.
Yes.
Yeah, on the day ones, but slowly it can be used to it. See, our model is not to wear continuously. If required, they can use continuously. If not, they can use it on an episodic basis.
Okay. So basically, what you're saying is one can wear the patch, remove it as and when they require.
That's true.
And somebody wants to wear it continuously. How does that? What happens when they take a shower? Even today, with people traveling, security checks at the airport. Has a thought gone to that as well?
Yeah, obviously. So ours is at this time we are going with IP65 grade, where they can take it's a water resistant. They can take shower and things, but in the next level, what we have planned was IP67, where it can be fully waterproofed device. And
present is rain proof, not a swimming pool proof.
Yeah. No, not as deep into. They can't go deep into the water. That's up to that we can take.
And then once you get into IP67,
yeah,
that should be able to do that. Right?
Yes, that's right. And security checks, the airport level, it can be handled. It's
we have
doesn't make any.
We are making all certifications from Central Drug Control and ISO 13485, IEC 60601.
The safety tests and everything is getting done on this. Then only it goes to the market, not immediately, but yeah, after the completion of safety, we take care of all the safeties like emissions and everything will be taken care. Then it will be moved towards the market.
So you are incubated with CIE,
Yeah.
ITH. How has been your experience? How has the journey with them helped you in your own entrepreneurial journey when you're building the product and the business itself?
First of all, thanks to Ramesh sir.
Ramesh and Prakash sir, we need to thank them a lot because they support us a lot on providing inputs towards the pitch or how to present to the investors and everywhere. Whenever we need, we just knock their door. They're going to give us time and they.
Anything specific you can share as to how the association helped you in your design itself or product itself or conversation with the with investors? If you can be specific. Yeah.
So most of the design part was done at IIT Makers Lab, where it was headed by Dr. Prakash, and they supported a lot. And we used the same designers who have Deepak and everyone to get this design done. We sat with them. It's almost spent a lot of time and energies from them, and we got it design done here itself. And coming to Ramesh sir, he supported a lot on the other part of how to take it up. Every time when we face him, he asks Vamsi, when you are going to give us the use case. So use case, Vamsi used to ask us a lot on that, and still we are, because there are multiple use cases for this device. Coming up with the use case to Ramesh sir is very tough. Yeah, we're still in that process to go. Yeah, and we received Nidhi Prayas fund from IIIT to support our other device. We are working, it's an R&D goes on, we don't leave the R&D part. So we are coming up with one more device for more towards the cardiovascular patients. So for that we got funding from, we got a grant from, Nidhi Prayas grant from IIIT.
Actually, this is right place for startups. Previously we are working in triple bedroom flat. After that we got a lot of changes compared to working in flat and working from CA IIIT. We have Makers Lab here, and suppose we have to do such kind of devices in the design point of view, it will take more than 6 months to 1 year.
Plus investment.
And the travel efforts, more things there. In Makers Lab we are dealing with this Deepak and team. It's very comfortable and very output oriented community.
Sorry. Finally, MyStartup TV is a channel for entrepreneurs like you, and we cover your stories.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about us, what we do?
That's very nice. So you're going to reach us to take us to that audience, and it may going to help us in all the ways. Yeah, not in one way. If some investor sees, they can approach us if they're interested, and if someone wants to try our device, it's going to reach them, and it's going to help us in a lot for the startups.
Definitely.
Yeah. I remember your my startup in T-Hub, and that's really nice. Whatever you are doing is really a great job.
Jayesh Ranjan sir also there in particular event in T-Hub. What is that event with KTR?
Oh, okay, I'm not sure.
T-Hub 2.1.
Yeah.
We had about first time in my startup TV. We said, wow, this is TV for startups.
Yes.
That's true.
It's fantastic actually.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes.
Avishkaran, the Bionest of Niper. Hyderabad was inaugurated on the 16th Foundation Day of Niper. On the sidelines of the event, My Startup TV spoke to founders of startups incubated at Avishkaran Bionest.
There is no drug utilization review, which is most important thing, which is lacking in the present healthcare system. That's in the pharmacy based, and we at the doctor's pharmacy we look at the drug utilization review. That is mostly important for the patient betterment, such as drug interactions between drug-drug interaction, drug-disease interaction, and drug patient. That's with drug-food interaction, which is lacking. and that should be, we should be concentrating more on that. And we being a pharmacist, that is the most important thing what we're doing with the patients, and we're doing in the form of the counseling and providing them data and checking on the patients about the compliance, whether how they're doing, and also reminding them of the refills to start a digital health, and that's for the comprehensive healthcare. Vision is transform the digital care, that is comprehensive to provide the delivering the care. That's a comprehensive way to the building the healthy communities. So that is my main vision. We at Doctors Pharmacy, we look at that, we look into the patient's profile, we give them the information, we talk to them, we counsel them, we are for them. Basically, our concept is not just dispensing the medicines, we are dispensing the care. They need not go to the hospital, they can get the right care at the pharmacy itself, because that is a place where the pharmacists are the point of care for the patients. And this is we are doing it at Doctors Pharmacy right now. I've started a retail store a year and a half back, and we've been doing all these services in all the communities, and right now we are concentrating more on more communities to build the healthy communities, I can say, and this is through our e-commerce. And where is in the pharma sector right now, especially in the retail sector, where I'm running a retail store as well as an online pharmacy. We have right now a couple of physical stores and also online. And at this moment, and I'm running the retail store for the last 1.5 years and starting my mobile app in another 3 to 4 weeks. And which they're only concentrating on dispensing the medicines. But my concept and my vision is to dispense the care to all the communities. And whereas I'm coming up with building healthy communities, and this is in the rural as well as urban areas, for the comprehensive healthcare system, for the betterment and for overall healthcare of my patients. First of all, I would like to congratulate Avishkaran for the first cohort for the startups, and it's a wonderful journey for me as well. And this is my team, the entire team of Doctors Pharmacy.
Dr. Manish Diwan, BBT Bairak, addresses the Avishkaran inaugural event. Listen in.
Very good afternoon to everybody, and congratulations on the 16th Foundation Day. I'm really blessed to be part of this momentous occasion with all of you. Director ma'am, Madam Secretary, and faculty, entrepreneurs. I can see some faces, old good friends who are supporting the ecosystem, investors, the Bionest incubator across the city and different dimensions. Some of the startups we could interact, spend a little bit of time, and a lot of young minds sitting at the back, the young students who are pursuing UG, PG, doctoral or postdoctoral studies. I think pharmacy institution like this, who has actually, let me put one more thing here, I would say, not many IDPL facilities would have got blessed with such an establishment. It is a great tribute to that endeavor which was set in several years ago, where now a permanent facility of educational center and a center of excellence in pharmacy, which is now prospering. So IDPL soul would be kind of blessing this endeavor because of all of you. Pharmacy is very interdisciplinary and inherently translational. So unlike many other science streams where you actually have to kind of encourage people to start looking what could be the outcome of the basic sciences outside the laboratories, how you can translate the knowledge that is generated in those research institutions and can help societal unmet needs. But pharmacy is inherently driven and sitting at the translational space, and it has a wide variety, a great expanse of different domains within the pharmacy, from pharmacology to pharmacognosy delivering the drugs with pharmacokinetics, chemistry intertwining with with all streams, chemical synthesis to NMEs. And even after the delivery, the pharmacovigilance, it's a fairly wide spectrum, and all of you who are getting training under specific domains, right from discovery, understanding the anatomy sciences, to actually in the marketing domains, actually considering how to get integrated with the markets once the product is panned out from all the efforts. And pharmacy is one sector where it can actually contribute to many unmet needs and the emerging global challenges. We were just talking about and all of us would have experienced the last 2 years of pandemic. The health sector and the health got immense focus from non-science people, from policy makers, economists, the world at large. All the economies of both developing nations as well as developed countries, the infrastructure was all challenged just because of one pandemic. And I think we are sitting right in the center of the entire activity from this Niper Pharmaceutical Institute, to be able to relate to those gaps and be able to contribute in that segment. We would have all heard about unicorns, and unicorn, anybody like any time when your valuation increases and breaches that 1 billion benchmark, you are entitled to be called as unicorn. That is all reflecting of the new innovation, new businesses getting set up. Biotech sector, including pharma, biopharma, we do not have much presence of in the unicorn space. There are only 4 unicorns which are from the pharma space, all in the kind of delivery space, but not in the core deep tech area. But these numbers are increasing as we all relate to. India is the third largest country of startups. So that means a lot of innovation happening. More than 65,000 startups are registered in India. We have 44 unicorns panned out last year and graduated to the unicorn status. As year has passed, so we have now reached to 107 unicorns from India. So this number is increasing, and I think this puts a focus and a scope and a potential for a place like this, Avishkaran, as an incubation center to nurture such new startups who can possibly potentially go and reach to that landmark. India's pharma sector, I was doing just about very small amount of groundwork, but I could see that most of our pharma companies currently, their valuations are just about $4 to $5 billion. The topmost country's pharma company has a valuation of about $20 billion, which is less than 1/4 revenue of one of the major immense innovator pharma companies outside India, global pharma. So I think the very reason we don't have much higher valuation within our pharma belt is that the innovation component, we have kind of let it slip. We are not investing enough in the R&D, in the discovery and innovations, in the first-in-class discoveries. We are more into me too, best-in-class, and follow-through. I think time has come where the intensity of competition has bridged the gap of geographical boundaries. The solutions which get nurtured or developed anywhere across the globe, they get adopted and they get implemented, whether it is India's company or outside India's company. So this is a stage where innovations done here in the country would have a platform to compete and contribute not only for India but for the world. So Atmanirbhar Bharat, which has been the national drive Honorable Prime Minister ji has been pursuing, I think the Startup India, Make in India, all these national missions are platforms which have been seeded to help progress India and build that innovation quotient. And everybody is banking upon this young talent, young mind and young pool which is graduating. Honorable Secretary Ma'am shared in one insight that they are already thinking in how to spur more innovative ideas to fund and support beyond the educational curriculum. So I think there is a thinking in that direction. BIREX existing enabling facilities both for funding, incubation and mentorship and the vast expanse of network that is also available to each and every single individual startup as well as industry. The current, the Avishkaran, which which was kindly inaugurated today by ma'am, that provides a nurturing ground for such innovative ideas where each one of you can actually utilize that opportunity, be it as a full-time dedicated entrepreneur or as a temporary or transient scouting of the activities which are happening, because that would become a center of place of network where people from across different dimensions would like to come and congregate. And beyond our I am also from a pharmacy background, so I know it's morning till late evening classes, one after another, practicals. So we hardly get enough time to look outside our classrooms or outside our peer group. But I think within the campus, when you got that opportunity, kindly utilize that. The network of incubation center within the vicinity, within Hyderabad itself or around, we have 7 BioNest incubators. And in the state, we have, in the Hyderabad itself, it is close to 45 incubators as of now. So it offers an immense potential. The industry network, people would come and like to interact and spend times. IKMC is happening by IKP just at the end of this month itself. It will have a lot of footfall, a lot of people coming from across India as well as outside India. Maybe invite, interact with them, bring them over here. To BAM, I have one request that that within the pharmacy curriculum we do master's dissertations, PhD dissertations, so to the faculty as well. So kindly encourage your students to pick up topics, if possible, that can lead to startup creation at the end. So may not be immediate, but at least that has a potential to create that. We all have within our curriculum requirement of industry visits. So visit industries, but also visit the startups. In the free time or in the breaks, if you want to spend some weeks or some time as an intern, explore startup ecosystem, try and work with them. I think the kind of knowledge and opportunity that you would get, or the perspective that you will get exposed to, that's unmatched. It's beyond a one-centric vision. And if you don't like one startup, hop over next vacation. You can always try the next one. I think the large network pool which is forthcoming to you and would become conveniently available, kindly make use of that. The one thing I wanted to also emphasize from this dais, that within the pharmacy syllabus of the young UG students, we don't have enough agility to absorb the movement in the scientific development, like genomics, molecular biology, AIML. You have started the medtech devices component. So expand wherever you find that those are the elements which would actually be the future to drive the healthcare delivery system. Kindly adopt them, and if not as a formal subject or a paper, but kindly get exposed to the students as well as to the faculty. I'm very optimistic and looking forward to the outcome of the BioNest incubator here, and we'll be happy to support that. My colleague here, Dr. Chaya, has worked very closely with the entire team, Director Ma'am, Dr. Nanduri ji, and all of you will be happy to support. And the BIREC enablement, enablement and opportunities would also become more forthcoming. At least you will get exposed to it more quicker than ever before. So good luck to everybody. Thank you very much.
Director of the Niper, Dr. Shashi Bala Singh, bounded up the yearly programs update at Niper. Listen in.
Namaskar and good afternoon. All the dignitaries present on the dais, off the dais. At the outset, I want to extend a very warm welcome to Ms. Aparna Ma'am, Secretary, Department of Pharmaceutical, Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizers, for accepting our invitation at a very, very short notice. And ma'am, we get inspired by your presence in this auditorium, especially the faculty and the students and the staff. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us today for very important inauguration of Avishkaran and the foundation day of Niper Hyderabad. Very warm welcome to Manish Diwanji. Thank you, Head BIREC, Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology. I think we have been working with him for a long time, and it was through his mentorship and through his guidance we were able to establish this incubator center, which is Avishkaram. Thank you, and we would like that you continue your support with us, and we would like to expand it. You know, today I realize the space is very less. We need to have much more space for more incubators to be part of this Avishkaram. I think we'll be working on it. Let us see how can we expand our space. A very warm welcome to Dr. Chaya, who is a Senior Manager in DBT. All we have been having very, very senior people in the auditorium, DG Pharmaxil, Dr. Uday Bhaskar sir. Then we have Dr. Anand, who is CEO of Govind Holdings, Singapore, and many other dignitaries which I see from IKP, from Osman, also from the Hyderabad University Incubator Center, all my faculty members, my dear student staff. A very good afternoon. I think it's a momentous occasion for all of us. We are celebrating 16th Foundation Day of Niper Hyderabad. Niper Hyderabad is 15 years young. And I want to congratulate my faculty members, staff and students. I think whatever we are here today, it is because of all of you. I'm just an ambassador or maybe an interface between you and DOP. So my salutation to each one of you. It is because of you I stand here before you. You know, Niper Hyderabad has been given a very specific mandate, which has been reiterated even today by Secretary Ma'am during our discussion with all the faculty members. We not only have to excel in education in terms of educating young minds for pharma industry ready, but also research. And we will be sort of taking her guidance, and also we'll be seeing that how do we excel in research. You know, my dream for Niper Hyderabad is not only to put Niper Hyderabad on national map, I want Niper Hyderabad to be on international map. With the support of all the stakeholders, especially DOP, our BOG member, Chairperson Ma'am, and the audience, you will be happy to know that we have come second in institutional institute ranking framework, which is by Ministry of Education. We are in pharmacy category, Niper Hyderabad stands second, and humbly I would also like to submit for the people who are not part of Niper Hyderabad. The first one who is Jamia Hamza, it is because they have a UG course also. Otherwise, in all probability, I think we should be number one, and we are lacking behind by out of 100.04 marks. So last year has been a very good year, very happening year for all of us in Niper Hyderabad. We in the last almost more than a year, we were able to start 4 more disciplines. So now we offer PhD and PhD program in 12 disciplines. The newly added discipline are medical device, then natural product, pharmacoinformatics, and regulatory affairs. We have been also, with the guidance and support of Department of Pharmaceutical, especially Secretary Ma'am and Honorable Minister, we have been able to complete recruitment in 2 phases. Now we have regular faculty, which the first batch joined in January 2020. So before that, it was being mentored by CSIR Institute, IICT. I'm the first regular director, which joined in June 2018. So with the regular faculty, which is our faculty, I can tell you, it is a globally competitive faculty, very competitive. We have been able to take them from all discipline. They have a lot of experience, not only with the Education Institute, but also most of them have done postdoctorate from outside India, and many of them were part of the industry before joining Niper Hyderabad. Infrastructure, I think I would request all of you who are here today, you may visit Niper Hyderabad and see the infrastructure which we have. We have very high-end equipments which have been procured in last 2 years, most of them. Then we have, with this Niper Hyderabad, we also have a NABL accredited lab. So anyone who is interested in some of the services, we offer these services. We are offering to a lot of MSMEs, and I would request anyone else who is interested may contact Niper Hyderabad. It is there also on the website, all the services which we offer in terms of analytical things. Then we have, in the last year, we are also developed BSL-2 facility, because we are also, one of our colleagues is working on AMR. Medical device is again a new addition to Niper Hyderabad. This again, we started this course is in January rather 2021, not in December 2020. So this is another lab which has been established, and with the support and guidance of ma'am, we are going to have the medical testing facility also in Niper Hyderabad. We have been able to upgrade, renovate most of the labs, because we are in IDPL campus. This building is more than 70 years old, so a lot of money has been put in for renovation of these labs, and again, my thank you and support which is coming from DOP. We have smart classrooms now. We have all the lecture theaters are equipped with smart monitors. Of course, Pharma Incubator Center, you have seen with, today, you have witnessed all the incubators, their interaction with ma'am and others. So this is another thing which we have been able to accomplish in last 1 year. I really want to thank Dr. Devan and ma'am to be here with us for a very important, to my mind, it's one of the important, because these are outreach programs which really helps in to build up societal mission and help society at large. Then I also want to tell that we will be building a regular campus here. Again, all support in terms of finance support and all the regulations, all the procedures are complete, and slowly we will have a new campus here only. We have been given 50 acres of land where we are sitting now. I also want to thank Dr. Anand. I want to take this opportunity to thank him for investing in 2 of our products. Thank you. I would like you to see this growing much more, because you can really support us in many other adventures. So our faculty, as I said, is mainly engaged in teaching and research. So, the dream of my faculty is to have 4 Ps: publication, patent, product, and process. But then the directions which we get from headquarters is product and processes. So this we will be working, ma'am, I assure you, from on my side and from faculty side. In years to come, we will make sure that 60% of our research is directed towards translation research. Of course, we are also engaged in consultancy services. We have a lot of industry-sponsored projects and a lot of extramural grant. Again, I want to thank all the industry partners, all the funding agencies like DBT, DST, ICMR, and DRDO, and many others. We also have a lot of skill development programs which we are running. Some of them are with Telangana government and DBT sponsored together, which are there continuously for almost 3 years. They have been sanctioned. So every year we run 3 to 4 programs which are even still ongoing. Then being a research and teaching institute, we organize a lot of seminars, workshops, soft skill development for our students, and also the leadership series. This is a series where we invite some important person who has made a good mark in that area, and then he or she may not be from pharma, they can be from other specialization also, to enthuse our student and motivate them, and maybe they become their role models also. And we also get a lot of internship. People who want to come and do their internship here, not only from Hyderabad and around surrounding area, but also from other states. This time we got from Gujarat State Council, we got about 40 students who were pursuing pharma in different colleges to be part of Niper Hyderabad for their mentorship and learning some of these pharma techniques. I think I will not say much because time is limited. Ma'am has to leave. And placement is 100%, and this time the highest package which we got is 27 lakhs. I'm not saying it may not be the end, but we are incrementally progressing every year. So that gives me hope that next year it will be better. And of course our student and faculty also get a lot of honors and awards for their hard work which they put in here. I will not name all those awards. And this year we have successfully completed joint entrance examination. This is entrance examination for all the 7 Nipers. And this responsibility was given to us by department. Then Swachhata Pakhwada, again, it's a very important, you can say, process of making Swachh Bharat, and we are also part of it. And this time, Department of Pharmaceutical has recognized our efforts and given us an award. But these are some of the things which I am highlighting. I am sure there are a lot more which I may not have said, and there's a lot more which needs to be done. I think we have miles and miles to go. I want to thank each one of you, especially my faculty, my dear students, my staff, who has been working tirelessly to make Niper Hyderabad a better place for learning. And with this, I want to thank ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much for being with us. It really makes us feel that we are being guided by people who can really take us forward. And thank you, Dr. Devan, and thanks everyone who is there with us. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Avishkaran, the Bionest of Niper. Hyderabad was inaugurated on the 16th Foundation Day of Niper. On the sidelines of the event, My Startup TV spoke to founders of startups incubated at Avishkaran Bionest.
This EDA Pharma Private Limited has been started recently in February 2022. So this EDA Pharma generally planning to start this generic APIs and oncology APIs to start with these drugs. Drugs of API bulk drugs and oncology bulk drugs along with biosimilars. So right now we don't have any clients, but we are in the research and development mode. We are developing some drugs to reduce these costings and to go with the unique mode along with the patents.
First of all, I would like to congratulate CoinSwitch Kuber for organizing this meetup here. It means a lot to us. Also is a very strong endorsement for the fact that Hyderabad also is a very serious player in this area of emerging technology. There is an ecosystem here. The ecosystem can be cultivated, nurtured. Much bigger things potentially can happen from here. So just the fact that CoinSwitch is hosting this event here gives us lots of confidence, boosts our enthusiasm to do more in this area. I'm sure since I have literally come at the last minute, but I'm very sure that my colleague Srinivasrao Garu, when he spoke, or when Santosh spoke, or when someone else spoke, they might have told you already about our interest, what do we do. And I have attended a few meetup events in the past as well, in which I've explained what we have been doing. First of all, what is the genesis of our interest? Why is it that the government is showing so much of interest in this area? But maybe very briefly, because I know that, there has been big delay in the commencement of this meetup today, so I don't want to give any lengthy speech, but very briefly I would like to share this with you, that when Telangana as a new state was created 8 years ago, we were very determined that we will embrace all the new areas of technologies, all the emerging technologies. We will structure good programs out of it. We'll of course do that with the intention that it will benefit the government processes. It will also benefit the citizens in multiple ways. And for the last 8 years, we have been extremely successful in this objective. If you name that area of technology, and you will find, if you compare all the 28 states of our country, Telangana literally at the top in, let us say, AI adoption, blockchain adoption of robotics, drones, data analytics. You name them, cybersecurity. We are really up there, and we do it in a very methodical way. We have created a separate wing in the government. Some of my colleagues of that wing are sitting here. That wing is called the Emerging Technologies Wing. We have taken extremely talented people to work in that wing. Madam is not here today. She is not here. So the person who leads that wing unfortunately is not here, but I'm sure you would be knowing of her. So that wing actually prepares policies, frameworks, compares what is happening in the world that can be emulated in Telangana, guides us, shows the direction, and then whatever we do, I spoke about half a dozen technologies in which we are dabbling. Whatever we do, we try to do it in a very participatory, very inclusive way. So the academia will be included in our efforts. The private industry will be included in our efforts. There are some very brilliant Government of India institutions in Hyderabad. We are very fortunate in that sense. They will be included in our efforts. It's a very participatory kind of thing. Startups will be very much a part of that mix. And typically we will bring the best talent from the outside world to spearhead the initiative. So there'll be a governing council or an advisory council, which will all be led by domain experts, and that is how we have been working on. So as some of you would be aware, this is 2022. I think in 2018 we started taking deep interest in blockchain. We were very fortunate in 2018 to host an international blockchain conference here. And when we understood the trends which are shaping the blockchain world, we decided that we will also become one of the early movers. So we created a kind of an organizational structure which is called the Blockchain District. We identified partners as I spoke. We started some programs, some incubation programs, acceleration programs, use case in the government. Many of the use cases that we adopted have become national role models. We have won awards for it. In fact, I share this with lots of pride that the latest that we have done is perhaps very unique for the world itself. I don't know of more than a couple of countries where this kind of thing is practiced, which we were able to demonstrate successfully in Telangana, which is about remote voting. As you know, voting is a big issue in our country, and all kinds of things happened for voting. And we were able to very successfully demonstrate how sitting at home at a scale, this was not a demonstration with 10 voters or 20 voters. It happened in a municipal town called Khammam with 3,500 voters. And we were able to demonstrate how voting can be done. As you know, voting is a very contentious, elections is a very contentious process in our country. All kind of challenges are thrown at every point in time. But we were able to show with extreme levels of authenticity, dispelling all doubts and the typical mudslinging which happens in conventional elections, that everything can be handled using technology. And of course, blockchain played a very important role. So this is a little bit about the genesis of the work that we do in the government here. And of course, the specific interest in Web 3.0 came up just roughly about a few months ago. Actually, we were in Davos, our Minister for IT, Mr. K.T. Ramarao, myself, some of our colleagues, where we met lots of technology leaders and lots of VC champions, and many of them told that India is missing out on this Web 3.0 opportunity. They actually...
In 2000, China had similar capacity as India. Today they are 10 energy. So nuclear energy is where we seem to have lost steam. Complement the central government, the state of Telangana. There is an energy conservation bill which came a few days back, which is going to be in India. Everything gets imported from China. If we are talking about national strategies, what industry would be looking for from the policy makers is a big player in lithium-ion batteries. Or another problem which need hundreds of engineers important for us. 7-8 years down the line, if the shift to EV happens, some of the startups, I would like you to have a look at it. The recycling is some of the startups, I would like you to have a look at it. The recycling is one opportunity, which this is one area we can definitely look at. And what happens here is some of these players do not know that these players are also compliant and incentivize the battery returns to the authorized. In India, the kind of sales availability and recycling is the last option. Not of greenhouse gases reduction, which is good for economy, is going to generate, but 80-90% of what the photovoltaics, everything comes from China. 500 gigawatt of renewable energy, which would require.
He made a very important point in terms of the available present companies and moving over to newer companies, which sources for raw material resources for batteries being available, circular economy and transition to a low carbon sustain.
I'm delighted to share the stage with such a prestigious clean energy transition and efficiency like India to sustain itself and grow. It is going to be very critical to create an impact at scale. These geographies is highly developed and regulated. Strict waste, plastic waste, metal or e-waste, these all need to be methodically segregated, is still informal and unorganized. Integrated with environmental protection, clean production and per unit product, but also alleviate the shortage of resources, support from larger parts of the societies as well. Now, the building sector, which is most relevant in all the developing nations with growing economies, that could ultimately help in reduction, and most importantly, manufacturing presents an opportunity to make partner impact. They came up with eco-labels. I want to bring sustainable, and efforts have been made to reduce emissions to bring the products to source inputs and follow some and then preserving and extending the use of something that has already been made, that has already would enhance productivity and value creation. Policymakers can take up on emission reduction will see light. Carbon financing and impact investments would also play an investment mechanism to invest in projects that are focused on wash, sanitation, personal hygiene. And we use the method of solar development goals, one of them being reduction in CO2 emissions. We reduce 2 tons of CO2 posed under the sun for a couple of hours along with the water. Posed under the sun for a couple of hours along with the water.
GHG emission per capita could be somewhere around 2.5 to be imported. You spoke about building sector and eco-label. Yes, eco-label products can be are eco-label certified. And you spoke of very much, and I think it's also a major entrepreneur opportunity for circular. There was a lipstick manufacturer in a period of about 4 to 5 years of time, which they say in FMCG, the recycling opportunities are substantial. Is on making things where circular economy can have substantial to reduce your. Asked a question, Bhagavad Gita came out.
Happening in the unorganized sector where there is no certification and all. We can talk about any arrangement in future where you stamp or standardize.
Tiwari.
So thank you for a lovely question. And all these recyclers across the country, and these are the recyclers.
And the problem which has to be solved is so big that there is a role for every one of us, whether small, big, medium, national, local. Thank you. Please, sir.
My name is Murli. I'm from Vedvak Systems Limited Company.
Closer, sir.
My